my top 10 personal favourite stands in JoJo's. Now, I've always been a massive fan of JoJo's. It's been a massive part of my life. It was one of the original anime I was introduced. I believe it has the best power system in all of anime, and it has the best characters and plot writing in anime and manga. Now, I'm all caught up with Part 8, Part 7, Part 6. I've watched all the anime, so I think I can take a intellectual, I have a superior opinion on JoJo's compared to others. That's why I'll be ranking my top 10 stands. Now, these are not in terms of power, because that's just stupid, because I think if you watch or read JoJo's, you will know that power doesn't really decide on who wins the battle. It's more of a battle of minds, and I think that will reflect in my list. So anyway, for what I'm rating my stands on are design, ability, and user. Now, the user might come into, might not. You'll see at number 7 why it comes into it. But other than that, those are the 3 things I'll be ranking on. I hope you enjoy. For number 10, I have a Bakio stand, Moody Blues. From the start, it has a great design. I love the aquatic feel. It has a sort of manta ray-esque upper half. I love the incorporation of stereo features, such as the speakers in its palms and in its eyes, and I think the great clog on its forehead really, truly it. You can easily know what the stand's ability is. The stand's ability also is great. I think in part 5 we get to see truly more support stands. Giorno Giovanna, before the Wexium, his stand was more of a support rather than a fighter. I think Moody Blues is where the utility stand truly comes into its own. I think it's a great one because it reflects the user's ability. I think that's where Part 5 truly, another way Part 5 shines is how stands reflect their users, and Moody Blues is probably the best example of this. With Abakio being a former police officer and him wanting to reverse back time to see what truly went wrong, I think it only helps develop Abakio's character. Going more into the ability, Moody Blues is able to reverse time, is able to review time from a person's perspective. He's not able to manipulate time. He's just able to view that time in a physical form. I think that truly reflects his character as a police officer, as his investigation desire to figure out all these mysteries. I think it is truly utilized in Part 5, especially against the especially against stands like Sail and Man in the Mirror. And I think Man in the Mirror fight is where it truly shines, being able to trick the user into which is Moody Blues and which is Abakio. And I'm rewatching Part 5, and I am more enjoying Abakio's character. From the start, he's a constant dick towards Giorno Giovanna. But it takes him till his death to realize that Giorno Giovanna is an actual alright guy. But I think his death has a great impact onto the story, because it's where truly stakes are the highest. We had it with Fugo, but this is the first time someone had died due to their quest, and I think that really put a spanner in the works of Bucciarati's gang. But I think because of the design, the ability, and the user, that's why I'm putting it at my number 10. Another reason why I'm putting it at number 10 is it would truly be helpful in this situation. If I personally wanted to use it, I think I could use it to its full potential. Not to sound arrogant and cocky and stuff, but I am a truly perfect badger, and I think it would help definitely in days today, because I constantly lose my phones and my keys and my fur, and so able to replay those moments would amazingly help me out in the day to day. So that's why I'm putting it at number 10. For my number 9, we have Harvest. Now, Harvest doesn't have a good design. It doesn't have a good user, but it does have amazing ability. Where Harvest truly thrives is in its ability to be able to use colony stands, which were introduced in part 4, seen in part 5, and never used again truly in the next parts, mainly because it's very overpowered. Being able to firstly collect anything you want is amazing. It was utilized greatly in part 4, being able to collect coins and stuff, but also to overpower your enemy, and I think Shigetsu did prove that. He was able to overpower Josuke and Okuyasu and Kira in all their fights. The only two reasons why Harvest is not further down the list is it's a rubbish design. It's a small egg with a Pinocchio nose. It's not very nice on the eyes, and the biggest reason is the user, Shigechi. The poor 14-year-old Shigechi, may rest in peace, is not that smart. He's an idiot. Even though he overpowered Josuke and Okuyasu and Kira, he lost in both those fights because due to his lack of intelligence. If I was able to use it, then I would be able to win in all those fights. I'd be able to utilize it as well as Shigechi did, even further than Shigechi did. And I could also just steal a lot of money with it, that'd be great. I'm only a student, badger loans to pay. Those bloody farmers keep asking me. I have to, bribe off the government officers to let me through. So, yeah, I mainly use it to find money. So that's why I am putting it at my number 9. Number 8 is another part 5 stand. It's Panacotta Fugo's Purple Haze. Purple Haze, the most striking thing about Purple Haze is design. It's a great design. It's probably my favourite JoJo's design of the purple Roman centurion. It's menacing. That's what it is. That's how you sum up Purple Haze. It is a menacing stand. You would not want to go near it. I love Fugo as a character. He was further developed in the 2 book spin-offs, Golden Heart and Purple Haze Feedback, and I feel that he truly was able to utilize his stand well, and you can see that in Purple Haze Feedback. For everyone who hasn't read Purple Haze Feedback, he was able to evolve his stand to able to lessen the virus, put less danger on himself and his comrades with his virus ability. But the only downside is that it might also nullify his own ability. But Purple Haze Original is a force to be reckoned with. You would not want to go near this stand, and it was only through Jono's bullshit that Jono was able to truly survive, and he completely destroyed Eluso with that finishing rush. And another great thing I love about Purple Haze is the sound size of that just intense breathing, the menacing screech, and the bubbling the virus makes. And I forgot to mention Moody Blues, but I love Moody Blues' also sound design with the retro stereo sound fitting greatly with its ability. But I think because of the menacing nature of Purple Haze, how it truly reflects Fugo's darker side, and I think that's what Part 5 excelled at, is reflecting the stand user. I love the moment when we're first introduced to it, and it's constantly trying to clean itself, even though it's just going in a cycle, in a loop. But I think that's what's great, that all these overpowered stands like Harvest, like Purple Haze, like Hand, they all have their limitations, and I think that's what truly makes JoJo's great in terms of power system, because even though these are overpowered stands, they are still limited, and I think even if you have the worst stands, such as even if you have bad stands, you can still be able to win, and I think that's what makes it great. It's not like other shonen or other manga where it's truly just about power. This is truly about a battle of wits, and that's what makes me love JoJo's. So that's why, to sum it up, that's why I put Purple Haze in number 8. Now, this is where it gets controversial. My number 7 are 2 stands. Oh, Badger, what are you doing? 2 stands. It's a top 10, not a top 11. What are you doing? And I say these stands are just too similar. I think a lot of you can make an educated guess now if you're all caught up with JoJo's. And these 2 stands are Marilyn Manson and Osiris. These two stands greatly complement each other. They really are a common copy with just slight differences in their ability. And so that's why it was hard to separate these 2. So, for Marilyn Manson, if you gamble with the user, it doesn't matter how much you gamble, you will always have to pay back the debt. So if you say, I bet 1,000 quid, even if I don't have 1,000 quid, Marilyn Manson will take something away from you that is worth 1,000 quid. Whereas Osiris Darby relies on his opponent to bet his soul, and if the opponent loses or gives up the will to go on, then their soul is lost. Now, it's a great ability. I think I love gambling. I'm a great gambler. Mostly because I usually go all in and people are too scared to, actually call my bluff. So that's also fun. I've been kicked out of many family reunions because of that. But apart from that, I love it. It's gambling just for fun. It's fun, no money, and I just piss people off most of the time. And I think I'll be able to utilize this stand well. Where I'm able to differentiate these 2 stands is in the design of Marilyn Manson and in the user of Darby. Marilyn Manson has a way cooler design. It's more slick. It's more menacing, and I think it fits well with Part 6's aesthetic. Whereas Osiris' stand, it's a bit ugly. It's basically just looks like one of those lizard men from Star Wars. But where Osiris fails is in its, and also Marilyn Manson, that sort of androgynous look to it, androgynous kind of personality, and kind of what's it called? Tics make it really a mysterious. Where Osiris truly thrives is in its user. Darby is one of my favorite characters of JoJo's. He is one of the best fights against Joshua, and I think I think all the tension leading up to that, beating Polnareff, beating Joseph's Joestar, the Trickster. Darby was truly a man to be threatened with, and I think he was used as a catalyst to increase the audience tension of what stand Dio Brando had. And I think Araki did this really well with the final card, with JoJo's bluff not being called by Darby because Darby was so scared of Dio, and I think that increased Dio's betrayal of just being this almighty titan. So I think that's why Darby thrived, because of what he made Dio, of how he made the audience fear Dio even more. So, because of Baron Manson's standard sign, both their abilities, and Osiris' user, I'm putting it at number 7. Next we have Killer Queen. Now, Yoshikage Kira is my favourite character in all JoJo. He's my favourite villain in all anime and manga. And he is best boy. But Badger, he only likes hands. Well, I'll let you know that I have very nice paws. I think Kira would love my paws. They're very nice. Very soft, very smooth, very fluffy. But I think Killer Queen is a cool design, has an amazing user, and has 3 amazing abilities. Let's talk about design. This is the first design that we've had animal designs in the past in part 3, such as Horus and Iggy's the Fool, but this is the first time we had a humanoid animal with the cat. We'd see that later with Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, or Filthy Acts at a Reasonable Price, as I prefer to call it, with its rabbit design. But I think, he was just so cool with that tunic, with its tunic, with its poses, with just when we get, we've shown it again with the skull. My god, that was, you had goosebumps everywhere. This is a stand that should not be messed with. You don't want to go near this stand, even though it's weak in comparison to, say, Star Platinum. It has a terrifying ability just to immediately explode anything, immediately disintegrate anything it touches, and that's just what makes it so scary. I think another thing that enhances the terror that Killer Queen is Yoshikage Kira, is in his meticulous thinking that he has, that for 20 years he's been able to not be caught, and you're just scared of this man. You're scared of this man. You fear for everyone who comes into contact with him. I think that's what Araki does great, that at the start you fear him, and by the end you just see him as a normal person. You just see this he's fine. I like this guy, and that makes you truly scared that these sort of psychopaths live in this world. But let's talk more about his ability. His first bomb, being able to incinerate anything he touches. It truly reflects his character. This is probably part 4 is where stands reflect their characters, but with Crazy Diamond. But it is Killer Queen where Araki uses it properly, where the whole point of Killer Queen was to help Yoshikage Kira's urges. It was to help take away any evidence it had against Yoshikage Kira. His hand's whole purpose was just to disintegrate, and even with this purpose, Yoshikage Kira had backups. The abilities are still useful in a battle situation. Next, we have his second bomb, Sheer Heart Attack. For the whole sheer attack episodes, I just couldn't breathe. You were about to kill one of the most strongest stand users in JoJo's with a fucking bomb. Araki made this character hype, this stand fearsome, because he took out Jotaro. Jotaro was out for most of the fight. And then his third bomb, another one bites the dust. He was able to refer back time. All these abilities were just made to keep Yoshikage having a quiet life. Who does this? It's just amazing. I love it. This is why I love JoJo. This is why I love JoJo's. And this is why I am putting Killer Queen at number 6. If you want personal use, I could never use that. It just wouldn't work. I just couldn't do it. I'm not a malicious psychopath. I couldn't use it personally because I would get caught immediately. I'd be like, I'm just gonna make your bomb. You're bout into a bomb, and there'll be a camera, straight with my face, looking at the dead body, touching its belt, and be like, Badger, you've been nicked. But other than that, that's why I'm putting Killer Queen at number 6. At number 5, we have Part 5's Metallica. Now, I truly didn't appreciate this fact until the anime came out, and it put Doppio versus Risotto into my top 3 JoJo's fight. Risotto is probably one of the most skilled users, and I think that's where, from 6 onwards, that's where most of my stands come from. These are skilled users. These users are they could take on anyone else in the JoJo's universe because of how skilled they are in using these stands. And these stands are not overpowered. None of these stands in my from 6 onwards are overpowered. They're just great to use. No, I just saw number 4. Not great to use number 4 was, but I could use it properly and it'd be amazing. But Metallica was just, that fight was amazing. How he was able to utilize iron in such amazing ways. Araki was amazing by coming up with all these ways. Risotto was able to camouflage himself. It was able to, use magnets against Doppio, which Doppio had figured out. This was truly a battle of wits, even though Doppio is not the smartest guy. He's a bit timid. Well, Giovanni's a bit timid. We'll get part 5 spoilers there, but this is a man Giovanni feared because it was a truly terrifying stand, and I think he nearly had him. You have to remember, if it wasn't for Narancia, then Risotto would have beat Passione's leader. People don't think about this. Part 5 could have ended there. It could have ended there, but no, fucking Narancia, twat, ended it. A bunch of bullets in him, and even when he was riddled with bullets, he still controlled Narancia. It was used another person's stand against Giafano to win, and it was probably the best utilization of a weak stand there was, and I think it was just amazing. Visually, it was amazing with scissors and needles coming up Doppio's mouth and neck, and Doppio having to rip, scissors out from his neck, and Risotto being able to figure out what firstly Doppio's stand was and who his identity was. It's just amazing. This was one of the smartest men in JoJo's, and I really want to see more Metallica. Even though it didn't have a great design, it was just amazing. So that's why I'm putting number 5 is Metallica. Now number 4, it's Nut King Cole. Now, Nut King Cole. What has it been used for? For most of JoJolion, to lick your family members. Yes. just saying that, I'm regretting putting Nut King Cole at number 4. Fucking Joshua, you fucking bowl cut cunt. Araki, you wasted such amazing ability on a pervert. Why, Araki? Why? Why did you do this? I do not know, but I think it's a truly unappreciated ability. Being able to separate body parts, able to separate joints. It's just cool. I would never think about that. Most people would not think about that. Most people would not be able to use it like Araki could use it. But I think where it's truly thrives is in its stand design. The stand design is just really cool. It's just, I think Araki uses purple amazingly. Most of his purple stands are amazingly designed, and Nut King Cole is no different. I love the V-shape, 3-shape forward. I love all the nuts and bolts on the side of his head. It's just amazing. I know that, you know, I love Nut King Cole. I love the design. People might be commenting, what? That doesn't make it part of number 4 on favourite list. What you talked about from the previous stands, that doesn't make any sense. But I put it at number 4 because it makes sense to me. That's all that matters. So that's why I'm putting it at 4. And I could also use it to greater purpose than fucking Josu, fuck you. Fuck. I could take over the world with Nut King Cole. That's how I could use it. That's how I could use these stands. Now, we have top 3 stands. The first one is Oshun, part 3. Fourth from last stand. Third from last. Fourth. It was one of the last stands seen introduced in part 3. And what a great stand it was. It was like Osiris, but it had one extra ability. A simple ability, not an overpowering ability, but when used wisely, you can beat any opponent. You get to ask the opponent's soul a yes or no question. That's it. That's the ability. You know, he can say he has Osiris' ability of able to take out souls, but just with that extra ability, he's able to win his battles. You know, Terrence D'Arby. He was a great character. His introduction with the puppets, I think I've read both the manga and anime. I loved the anime's interpretation. It was just so fucking creepy. The puppets, God, it was just, you just wanted to just, you know, crawl into your duvet and just, you know, shake, and you just didn't know what to do because those fucking puppets were creepy. You know, I don't prefer Terrence to D'Arby. I think, you know, as JoJo said at the end, if you were older D'Arby, then you would have won, because Terrence was even more cocky. If you can say that. The reason why older D'Arby was cocky, he had everything right. He had rigged the game, but the problem is he doubted himself. Whereas Terrence didn't doubt himself, but he didn't put any reassurances in, and that's why he lost. But one thing that stands out is that Atum, probably my favourite design of the series. I just love the aesthetic of it. I think if again it's purple and pink. You know, I don't know what's with this mat, what Araki had, but he's amazing. I think also with the hearts, the heart aesthetic, this is a hint. It's a hint towards his ability. Another thing is with his gas mask, you know, face. It's just amazing. I just love of Rocky's stand designs. It's freaky, they're cool, they're amazing. I am speechless when it comes to Rocky designs because they are just amazing. And I would use as amazing in this design because, well, not really, because most of my exams are not yes or no questions, but you know, apart from that, it's okay. I could help even improve my gambling skills, but yeah, it'd be more useful in a fight. Atoms is more useful in a fight than older Derby's was, than Osiris was. Now, spoilers for my next two, but they are both Part 7 stands. Now, I think a lot of people have been wondering, why has Part 7 only now been featured on stage? Because of the best stands. They are the best stands. And just spoiler running, I haven't done these done dirt cheap or filthy acts at a reasonable price because I hate myself. I would find myself annoying. I don't want another one of myself. I don't want to be interacting with another one of myself. D4C has an amazing design, but I don't want to be with myself. Why? Who wants to be with? I don't want another badger. You know, I've already got another badger. I've had arguments with other badgers. It's just so annoying. So that's why filthy acts at a reasonable price is not on this list. But I'll tell you what is on my list. Number 2 is Dino DNA, aka Scary Monsters. Now, I think it's been everyone's childhood dream of dinosaurs, and this makes it reality. Who the fuck does not want to be a Euroraptor? Who the fuck doesn't want to stride around being, I'm a fucking raptor? Fuck all of you. Tear your shit together. It's so cool. It's so cool. The transformations for people becoming dinosaurs. How Diego used the ability to... it made fucking, lamps. Dino lamps. Who thinks of that? Who makes dino lamps? It's so random and cool at the same time. It's just... And his transformation was amazing. His full form was amazing. His not full form when he was only using his nose and mouth. That was amazing. Diego Brown though was able to utilize the Dino so well. A cool design, cool power, finally a very, very cool character. I love Diego Brando. I miss Diego Brando. We had him in Part 6, but that was only because of fucking Poochie. Now the less we talk about Poochie, the better. But we finally got back good old Dio with Diego, even though he's British and I'm British. And I've never met a British person called Diego. So I reckon he must have had too much sake that night or whatever when he was coming up with these characters. But he's such a cunt, Diego, and that's why I love him. He's the biggest cunt in all of manga. That's what makes him so great. He married an 80-year-old woman just to get her inheritance. He just wants revenge. He just wants to take the whole world down because he sees the whole world as a dick. That's why I love him. I've had that thought before. I hate the world's so annoying. Fucking farmers and the Home Office always at me trying to kill me because I have TB. So what if I kill cows? That's not my problem. So because I can relate to Diego Brando, I'm putting it at number 2. Now, my number 1 personal favourite stand in all of JoJo's is Catch the Rainbow. It's an amazing ability. That's it. It's a mask for his design. That's fine. It has someone with mental issues, with mentally disabled as a user, but it's ability. I'm a British badger, and this ability to be able to manipulate rain. I don't know what more you wanted. I could utilize his ability whenever I wanted in fucking Britain because it's always snowing. Not snowing, it's raining. It never snows here. It's just rain and sleet. And I have to take the bus every time. I have to take the bus to go to work and stuff. And if I could just travel by rain, I could save myself 700 quid a year. Imagine just travelling to London. You don't have to pay 6,000 quid a year to take the fucking National Railway Service or the Elizabeth line whenever that comes. I could just travel by rain. It'd be that fucking easy. Catch Rainbow is my favourite stand because I want it. This is truly the stand I want. All the other stands, you fuck it. This is the stand I want. I would trade all my riches and all my property just to have Catch the Rainbow. And that's why it's my number one. Well, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed my JoJo's list. If you want any more JoJo's, just let me know in the comments below, or at me on Twitter. I don't care. I don't have many followers. Follow me if you want to. My Discord is in the link below, and I hope you have a nice evening. And remember, the Badger Brigade will take over the anime community, and Yoshikage Kira is better than Griffith. Good night.